So today we've got the 78 player pick. It is a 1 of 3. Let's have a look at the requirements for it then. We got the 77s last time. 7 players, 3 rare. Pretty standard. I'm interested in general with these. Normally the 1 of 4 tends to be slightly better, which is absolutely fine because that normally is the one that you'd go for. We didn't change the position actually. That's absolutely fine. We'll do it for the first one. We'll do 3 of these and see what they actually stand for. And I think, to be honest, it's broke the game straight away, so fantastic. So if you're looking for coins, head to the description of the video, have a look at U7, click go to site, and you'll be transported straight to the coin page for FC25. There is plenty of amounts, and we know full well that U7 are the cheapest, safest, reliablest coins that you can get out there. Once selected your product, click buy, and you'll also be given a newcomer an extra bonus per time. Then obviously head over to the discount, type in JT11 for your discount code, and you'll be able to get that lovely 6% off every single time. And there is also massive creators that are on screen that are also affiliated with U7 Buy. And if that's not enough to convince you, there is lots of different reviews that you can go on Trustpilot and have a look for yourselves. Safe, reliable, and fast. Well, let's try this again then. So let's try and see if we can get one without actually putting in all of the high rated. So we go ignore position, low to high, and gold. So I don't think I've got too much fodder as I have been doing the winter wildcard crafting. So it might be a lot of high rated, which is good because I can kind of show you a way that you'd get around this now and start to really get some cards in. So we'll do 3 to start with just to see what the kind of extras we can get. But realistically, you could have the best 3 to start with. You could have absolutely terrible. So it isn't necessarily a good sample size. You need, I'd say, at least 10 before you can kind of really gather whether these are worth doing or not, but we can kind of gauge to see if we get a good 3 or not. So let's just go straight in, let's them reveal them all. 81, 82, 82, which is pretty much what I expected from these to start with. Now 78, it's getting up there. Obviously we've had 76, we've had 77. We're slowly getting up there to our 80 picks. I mean, these are not, and this is what I mean, these are not the greatest to start with by the looks of it. And I think with player picks, it is all about the chance. It's getting that one big pull that works. Now, obviously, an 83, it's going to be good for the 82 times 4, well, yeah, 82 times 14. So in terms of grinding these out, they should be relatively simple. Now, there's definitely multiple ways you can do this. So just straight off the bat, if we're kind of just logging into the game, daily login is an absolute must straight away. It is, if you're doing it daily and have not missed a day, it's a Trackstar Xhaka at the moment. It's going to be a perfect one to start with to be able to get that finished. Then you want to be going into your promo packs and going and buying the 10 and 30 coin pack. This is just guaranteed free fodder for you. You can throw it into whatever you need. Sometimes you get walkouts, sometimes you don't. But in general, it's pretty consistent that it gets you it every day. You might as well. For 40 coins, it's a no-brainer to get that done. So once I've found the 30 coin, no anything, walkout, no. But we could put all of that back into other stuff as well. So I will absolutely take as many new cards as possible. So once you've done that, you've got the daily login first. You've then obviously done your 10 and 30 coins. If you've obviously got a login pack, then obviously do that. I've got 6 hours of mine still. You can tell I definitely messed up the preview. Then we go into the SBCs, because gameplay and stuff, that will take you longer. You can grind these out without necessarily having to do too much. I would suggest doing the winter wildcard crafting for the objectives if you can, just because you might as well get the extra cards as well. Plus it is a decent upgrade in itself. So the 78 is realistically going to go into the 82 times 14 and then into other upgrades. If you've still got your 86 campaign, your 86 hero pick, there's lots and lots that you can get away with there. So then we kind of look at the daily stuff. These are an absolute must as well. 3 of these for 1 bronze and 1 silver every time. And then you've got your daily gold, which again is an absolute must. It'd be silly not to do this because of how easy it is. Loading up a bronze team, loading up a silver team, they're not worth much anyway. Bronze it's very, very far and few. Maybe a couple of Evos that work for it, but that is pretty much all that goes in terms of value. So you can just go ahead and just put everybody in. It's that simple. You can obviously ignore position as well. It will just make it a little bit easier for the lower rateds. And there you go. Your first gold one done. You get 4 of them every single day. Still got 14 days left. meaning we've got getting over 40 packs of these. Every single day you're getting 4 rare, 40 common. That is going to be good in a couple of ways, because obviously you're going to have either just free upgrade fodder or League SBC fodder, which then leads into more fodder in general. It is the easiest combination we've got because we don't have the exchange. It's the best way at the moment. And obviously there is multiple ways to get more fodder in here. This is just a great method in itself. And to be honest, as much as I don't really like buying packs too much, if you are really struggling with some commons, 45 commons, 20k. Now, don't get me wrong. I think if you worked that out, I think where's the calculator going to go? It's not going to be on this screen. Of course it isn't. If you did work that out, so it is going to be more expensive. So if you go 20,000 divided by 45, you're looking at 444 coins per card. And I know there's no chance of rares here. It's not terrible instead of having to buy them. So I'm not totally against actually buying these if you need a little bit of a startup. So obviously if I was to go and get one, I've done this to finish off some of the winter wildcard crafting. This is going to be great to get a little bit of extra fodder into your team without necessarily having to buy anybody. Now, we've got one duplicate, which is fine. He can go in there. But this is going to be perfect just to set up a bit of League SBC, because then you can kind of take what you've gotten from there. You could go ahead and buy players for League SBC, but that's going to give you just that little bit extra of a bump. If you want to, you can just go ahead and do the premium mix and just buy the players you need. So for instance, we've got the Sudden Lib done, very easy to do in itself. We've gone over that multiple times now. We've got Premier La Liga done, and now we've got Ligue 1 and Eredivisie. Now obviously, Ligue 1 and Eredivisie, you're going to need to buy players if you don't have a squad really going for you. So what I normally do, Ligue 1's kind of the easiest one to get. We'll just find the team with the most players in and we'll just buy the rest. We've got 3 at the moment. Normally when you get to like Lyon or Nice, because I've utilised quite a lot of the players, they're obviously not going to be here. So we're just going to go through and just make sure that we've got nobody else in these. So by the looks of it, it will be Monaco. So we'll go ahead and buy some Monaco players. It's a very, very simple concept with these. We've got already the bronze. So all I do, go into here. We'll go Eredivisie, Monaco, and we'll just start our setup, because realistically we've got players already, so it doesn't matter who we go for here. We will get the chemistry regardless. Like, unless you literally get everybody completely out of position, it's a very little chance that you're going to not get somebody that you can put into the team. So Mbolo goes in, and we need one more, which can be another striker. That's going to give us the chem, and obviously we can go ahead and then whack Eredivisie's in. So we've got the 10. We do need an extra rare in there, which normally you would get, but all I'd do from here would go ignore position, low to high, and then we'll go league all the way over to Eredivisie. There it is. Whack it in, see what we get. Bronze and silvers are absolutely fine. That's that one done. Nice and simple. You can double check, but bronze and silver's perfect. As little as you can, because you're trying to save the golds for the player picks. That's the main factor here. Obviously, you'd have already done all your silver, bronze, and players, so you might have even got a couple of extra in there as well. Obviously, we look at this one, in the Bundesliga, and everything else can be fodder for everything else, if you are going in that detail, but I really wouldn't look at the silver packs. We then also get a jumbo gold pack. This is where you can make some of your money back. May not be loads, but you can make some of it. Obviously, looking at a few of these league changes, some of the managers could be worth some. As you see, we've got 1.4 on the Portuguese manager. I wouldn't have known that. Obviously, La Liga, sometimes these can be worth some. I normally hold on to these because it tends to be at the end of the game that people buy them. And then, obviously, you want to sell everybody else. Now I'm going to keep them just because I've got the coins to keep putting the money in. But if you are like kind of on a very low budget, sell everything. Especially if it is worth something, get rid of it. You don't need to hold on to it. Then we've obviously got the Eredivisie and the Bundesliga. So I'm going to go from low to high. In fact, we're going to start with the Bundesliga here. We'll go low to high, and we need the position because we do need the chemistry. So that's going to put in a whole squad, and to be honest, I've actually got more silvers than I thought, which is fine, because what I'll do from here then is, if we back out of here, we could then go ahead and start whacking in some Serie A's in the positions that we need. So potentially, if we look through the players, we can kind of see which teams we've got more than one player in. So we've got this is always the case of trying to find which ones you've got. We've got 2 here, so if we go ahead and change for a Serie A striker, and we'll go here, and we should be able to just put in a nice gold. So, to be honest, I could go with the 84 if I really wanted to. We'll go for Milik just because he's there. Obviously, we've still got 1 club to get rid of. If you can spot it, put it in the comments, and it's going to be here. Because we know the strikers are a little bit on there, a little bit lack of. We're going to go over here, and we want to get to 77 is where we want to go to. So, we're going to go there, and then we'll put the left back in. We'll go Napoli. And we just need two more now. So we'll go with a centre-back just because we know we're going to get the bronzes up a little bit more. And we'll go for Romagnoli, 83, which gives us 1 more. And then we'll change the goalie. Nice and easy. We could change a obvious... did I pick Inter Milan? I don't think I did. So there we go. 77. As easy as that. We've got some silvers, a couple of golds. It's all about flexing between the two. So next up, I'd use the silver Serie A, and then I'd use the gold Bundesliga, and then I'd just keep changing going forward. With La Liga and Prem, you have to use golds because it's a 79 rated team. You pretty much have to use high rated players anyway, or at least 80s to 81s, and then you can use a couple of 76s and 75s. With obviously the untradables, we're obviously keeping them and putting them back into the grind and just keeping it going round. And it is not necessarily the quickest method because obviously you're going to have to grind a little bit, but it is the most free. It's an unlimited grind because you can just keep doing this. If you manage to get somebody good out of these packs, they can obviously go into the 82 times 14, more player SBCs, and just grind it round that way. If you don't, you just have to keep doing the League SBCs again. It's as simple as that. When I go then to do my next set of League SBC or my next set of obviously player picks, I just utilize what I'm not utilizing in each of them. It's the Women's League, it's the Portuguese League, the Saudi, the Denmark, Netherlands Gold if I really wanted to, and then you've got like Turkish League, like players that you don't have necessarily loads of golds for, but you just put them all in here. So for instance, if I was showing you how I'd set this up, I need the free rares, so I'd go gold, would go low, sometimes you could go untradeable, but I'm going to not for this one, and I'm looking, so I'm going Greek, I'm then going over to Saudi, we'll go Greece, we'll keep the Sud because we need that one, Argentinian League, and then I really need some rares which should pop up relatively quickly. Do we need that league? We don't need that league, so there's the second rare, and then we just need 1 more rare, which is going to be Saudi again, and then I think 1 more common player, which will go, not with Saudi, but we'll go Eredivisie. There we go. We'll go with Eredivisie. We don't need any of them. All of them are going to be on their own merit. We don't need them for League SBC or anything like that. So they're going to be basically free cards, and then we get to open up another. So then we could see, do we get any fodder cards, or is it just back into the grind? So we get an 89, which was perfect. The flare works out well there. So even if we got the 82s, they could just go back into this. But we get the 89, which is absolutely perfect. We can grind it out, get an 89, and we just keep doing them. And that is just the whole process of doing them until we get some sort of exchange or something along the lines that really helps us out with this. At this point, we haven't really got anything else that's going to work in that sense. So it's going to have to be utilizing all of these players and just grinding them out as much as possible. Now, obviously, you can utilize your storage first, whether you'd want to do that or bring them back into, obviously, League SBC stuff and going it that way. That, again, can be worthwhile, but I normally just put the storage as almost a freebie. I've kept them in there for a freebie of a player pick if I really wanted to. We get the 83s. If I want to go with the 83, we'll just put him in the storage. He can be put into something else in dear time, really. We got the 82 times 14 that are always nice. All I do for these, again, is very similar to what we just did for that one. We'll go and squad build. Well, then normally I tend to just put the 83s in first because I can kind of see what we've actually got here, and we can see what the higher rated fodder we've got. So obviously we do need a team of the week as well. That's going to give us an 83s, which is nice, and then we can just go ahead and put a team of the week in and a couple of the 82s because we'll go off untradeable and we'll go Wilson, but I do need to check if I have got a team of the week in the storage. You don't want to be not utilizing it. Like I say, we do have him, so we're going to put him in instead. So we're going to put him in, and then we just go for the golds, gold rare, and then just look for 282s because we know that's going to be the lowest you can make that squad if this squad is full of 83s here. So we go whack the 82s in, and then we'll go ahead and put the inform in, and pretty much all of that could come from your player picks, your league SBC grind, and you've just got yourself an 82 times 14, a bigger chance of a gamble, and that's all they are. We sometimes get an 89, we sometimes get a winter wild card. This time we don't, and to be honest, the 82 times 14 over the past week have been terrible. Like, there has been a lot of 85 absolute maxes. We've had a couple of discard winter wildcards, but that's really about it with them. So I'm thinking the drop weight is a little bit lower at the moment. But in terms of the player picks, it is just going round as much as you can. You've got 3 days to get it done. I'm kind of not sure why we've only got 3 days. Maybe there's something more coming at some point, which would be interesting. But at this point, that is kind of all we've got to go off. But let me know, like I say, down below, what you're doing with them. What's your best card? We'll finish off with one just to get it out of the way. We got the 89. It's the highest pull we've got from the start. Next one is going to be 81, 83, and another 81. So fodder at the minimum. They seem okay at best. I wouldn't necessarily run off to the shops and get yourself a credit card full of points for them, but they look decent enough that you could keep grinding through, and any of your storage cards could go into it.